Hello everyone, this is Raghad from BLE 580. In this presentation, I will be talking about my practicum experience that I did with some college students who were developing English as a second language. Okay, starting with my background, I am originally from Amman, the capital of the beautiful city Jordan. Jordan is an Arab country where most of its people speak Arabic as their first language, and some of them as the only language. It has also served as the official language. In my school journey, I was registered in a public school, just like any other public school in Jordan. Every single material was taught in Arabic, even the English language. These kinds of schools give English for 45 minutes per day for 5 days a week, where students get less exposure and therefore less second language development. Okay, so here let's move about my teaching experience with multilingual learners. I started my teaching journey since I was a college student majoring English literature. I welcomed young students from grade 1 at my home, from grade 1 and 2 actually, who were developing English as their second language. I taught them the English they talk in their schools. And then after graduating, I went to Kuwait and worked as an English teacher. I worked as an English teacher for grade 1. I taught the basic English and simple mathematical in a large, okay. Yeah, so sorry, this is my, yeah, this is me, and these are my students in Kuwait in a large, I taught English in large suburban English school in Kuwait. So this is the private students, and these are my students, and this is me in Kuwait. And then when COVID-19 hit, I had to go back to my country and teach there. I taught I taught English for grade 1 also in an international school here in my country in Jordan. So teaching this age sounded like an incredible worrying idea at the beginning until I figured out the best way to handle 6-year-old students. So actually, I love English and I specifically love teaching. I focused more on exposing them to the language in fun ways so they learn the language implicitly without getting bored. So I had a lot of readings, computer shows, and many games that involved language learning. Okay, let's move to my practicum project setting. Okay, so my practicum took place actually in a public school in Jordan. I joined English 101 and English 102 classes provided to different students aged between 18 and 22 from different majors, like maybe engineers, medical, science, business, IT, or whatever. So these students spoke Arabic as their first language and they were developing English as their second language. So through English 101 and English 102, which serve as a compulsory university requirement for all students, regardless for the major. So as I said, all my students are from the same countries, background Jordan. So my students, actually all the students, vary in their second language abilities. So some of them acquired and speak English fluently because they were registered in international schools, and others struggle with English, especially those who learned it in public schools. Okay, so now here I'll be talking about the students' population, and also I'll be talking about my main focus. So when I got the approval to attend and deal with second language learners, I started to explore and know different English language learners' general level of proficiency through attending English lectures and writing observational notes. And not only I was observing the students' interaction in the classroom, I was also noting how the professor deals with a variety of English learners. Okay, so that uh, I had the chance to collaborate with two professors who nominated me, two students. Actually, these students needed extra assistance so that they can pass their final exam. So I had two students who I would go ahead and assist them in developing their English speaking, vocabulary, and developing a grammar and writing required to pass their final exam. So my main focus was to enhance the two students' vocabulary and observe how do they acquire second language grammar as these students actually needed extra assistance to pass their final exam. Okay, so I wanted to learn and I hope to learn the main struggles that they face why with English grammar and how to overcome these struggles or obstacles. I also have to take them to stable level so that it enables them to pass their final exam. Okay, since I said that I had to main focus like the vocabulary and the grammar, so for the vocabulary focus, they had to learn how to use new vocabulary in talking about transportation, food, making requests, or and describing holidays. While for the grammar focus, my plan was to improve the grammar in my students' spoken and written English. So the included grammar that they had to learn were um, the tenses, past tense, present perfect, and relative pronouns, and of course other grammar rules such as the rule of doubling the final consonant when adding ed and ing suffixes. And the other one is the rule of removing the silent e when adding a suffix that starts with a vowel as such as a pure, purity, and so on. So the main target of these two practices, or the practices that I mentioned, is to catch up with the main struggles that adults English language learners encounter while developing a grammar and language other than their mother tongue. And then eventually, I'll be talking about my plan. Okay, so the main plan was to achieve the best vocabulary grammar attainment that students can use in their spoken and written English. So, therefore, developing other English skills such as reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Okay, so the main plan was to achieve the best vocabulary or grammar attainment that students can use in their spoken and written English. This is what I mentioned again, and um, I would say that I am very happy that I met my goals and that dealing with adult students was not terrifying actually as I thought. at the beginning. So, okay, so throughout my practicum journey, I discovered that the problem with my students in understanding the actual lesson is that their professor used English most of the time, supposing that all learners have the same linguistic repertoire or ability. Oppositely, for me, when I used Arabic, Arabic is their first language, definitely. When I used Arabic to describe things that they did not understand its meaning, things actually became easier and clearer for them. So I understand that educators need to be communicators with their English language learners, and they should understand students and provide comprehensible oral input. This was said by Freeman and Freeman, 2014, page 3. Okay, so I would like to mention one scholarly literature that was the main finding that I learned through this unique experience is that using heritage or native language to scaffold and teach students does not hinder their English or academic development. Okay, and this was said by Cummins 2009, page 383. Okay, and the last thing, okay, let's move to the findings and literature review. So through the practicum and the practices actually that I did with my students, and from previous courses actually that I took in my master degree journey, I would say that when teachers provide rich and varied oral and written language experiences, their students become better readers and build their vocabularies. This also was took from Freeman and Freeman 2014 from previous course. And one last point from this practicum journey that without proper training, mainstream teachers may make incorrect assumptions or judgments in their classroom. This was also from previous course, was said by D. Jung, Harper 2005, page 105. And actually, I would say I am very happy to be here, and I'm very happy to be in this unique experience that my practicum course gave to me. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I'm looking forward to listening to your presentation. Thank you so much.